tribalist, certified chipua exe. I don't even know why I hang out with you. In this day and age, guns are so. Hello guys, stop fighting. Did you hear at Mtale Mwanza was chosen as an African ambassador by Rihanna? Ambassador for what? For Kachaso exe. Wayamba hating. She's a distributor for ZXA. Your parents only distribute failures. I mean, look at you, man.
So that is our next up guest. Like I said from the intro, that he's not an artist, but he's the creative. I don't know which category can I put you. The
Voiceovers, I think.
The voiceover.
Yes, I think voiceovers works.
Welcome on the show, man. I'm excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Few people can recognize your face, but maybe they might be familiar with your creative things that you've been doing right there. To a magic from a TikTok, from a Facebook thing, trending, Ot3lo. I'm sure the name itself is more familiar like that. But the first thing that I would like to find out is how everything started and how you just identified saying, this is something that is interesting that I feel like people are going to like.
I would say it started with my dad. Because, so dad grew up in the village, obviously our generation of parents. I'm sure back then we can't even say that was the village. That was just home. And then he got a scholarship. He worked very hard, got a scholarship, and went to the UK. So when he came back, he brought video cassettes. And surprise, surprise, the cartoon he brought back was Lion King. So I just had an interest in cartoons from there, and then I started drawing comics, and that's how I learned how to write dialogue. Because, you know, you have to keep it interesting, and then you keep going, and I don't know if you remember an old skit. I think it was Avatar. There was one for Avatar, there was one for Rango in Bemba.
Yeah.
So I kept watching those, and the feeling I got watching those, it made me happy, and I tried to make something for myself. But I would say I didn't have much confidence in myself back then. So what I did is I wrote a script, and I gave it to someone else to do it, and then they never did it. And then I gave the script to someone else, and they never did it, until I was forced to make something, and that one was for Avatar. Yes. Now, before I had what even made me write that was there was a guy who was trending by TikTok. I don't know where that guy went. It's something like Badman Studios.
Yeah.
He was a yobari, and I'm moving around in circles.
I hear that when you hear that a youth that disappear per social media school.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That actually makes sense. He made this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. I'm like, so originally, the first time I heard Manjeja, your body language Manjeja, my younger brother, who I'm actually here with, came back from boarding. I was like, so by the time that thing came out, and I watched it, I was like, okay, this is funny. This is funny. And I started thinking, how funny would it be?
So your young brother was doing these things?
Yes.
When he came back to boarding?
When he came back from boarding, he actually used to talk like that. I was like, what's this? He would be like, man, I came in, you know, I'll clap school very soon. And I'm just there like, what? Right? So when I see that, and it's the guy is trending, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is funny. And wouldn't it be funny if the Avatar opening, the Avatar, The Last Airbender, if someone was talking like this? Right? That's how most ideas come to me. It's, wouldn't this be funny? You know, and at the time I just used to post on my own wall, just for me and my friends. So it's like a very niched thing, like a closed thingy. I never thought it would get this far. So I write that and I record it. And when it actually hits the waves, people like it. But then I get cold feet because I'm there now, oh, make another one, make another one, make another one. So now I get I'm like, what if it sucks? What if it's not as good? Because I wasn't used to that kind of pressure, you know. What if it sucks? And so I stay away from making content for about 2 years. I kind of stood in my own way until one day I'm watching, I was on YouTube, and the person who comes on is Mix Kasamwa. Yes, so there was that song he has, I I think it's called the LSK Culture Anthem, Spazzing. And I saw the music video, and by that point I was aware of what he was doing. And I thought to myself, the only difference between him and me is that he actually has the guts to go out and do these things. That's the main difference. And so it made me start, I was thinking, you kind of get disappointed in yourself a little bit, because that was the eye-opening moment. So I'm like, okay, when I get home from work tomorrow, I'm going to make something. And that's how I made Kung Fu Panda according to Lusaka Your Buddies, which is the first video I did that actually went viral on TikTok. You know, so it goes viral on TikTok, and TikTok shadow bans me for, I think, a year, 5 months.
There's some people that don't understand what shadow ban means. For some people, they see when someone likes your post so many times, some take it like they're supporting you. But on TikTok, with my rules with TikTok, I just want to explain on that part. Some people should understand. You don't have to like my post, but what you can do is that maybe you can comment and do that. But the more you like something, for example, Mr. Bala T-shirt has a new album. You keep on liking, mungo liking Apoche. He's a basically to babaira, babashita munga to babashita arrest. So zambo posta video, but zambo oneka. That's what we mean, right?
Yes, but I don't think that's what caused it.
Yeah.
Because I also used to believe that until I started thinking there are people like Kabela May on TikTok. They have millions of followers. There's no way at least 500,000 of those are not spam.
So what happened in your case?
In my case, what happened, I don't really know. I'm not sure. I just fell off for a while, and that sucked, because at the time I had also lost my job. There's this company I used to work at, and then they lost their money, and then they couldn't have us anymore. So we had to stop working there. And unemployed. And in a sense, I'd say humor is almost a coping mechanism, right? So weeks after that.
Were you shadow banned because of maybe copyright? Is there like something like, because you do the voices,
I think,
but there are copyrights for those things that you use for people that do cartoons. For example, Lion King is a big thing. So imagine if you translate it maybe into a Your Body local thing, you're just using a voiceover, maybe the owner for that took maybe the rights to it, maybe that's why
that makes sense. No, that makes sense, because actually I used the Zambian song. I won't say which one it is. And I had, I think I had Tom singing along to it. And then the company was like, the company XYZ has muted this.
Yeah.
And so I think that may have contributed, because I made a bunch of those. Every time a song comes out, I would make maybe a cartoon character and they would be singing along to it. I'll just edit like they're singing along to it. So it makes sense that may have caused it, because TikTok was like, this guy's a problem.
Yeah.
So these days I just stay away from that. I try to avoid that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast forward, the reason why we have you on this show, there's always a reason why we have people on the guest list right here, is because we feel like you're doing something very positive and very interesting on social media.
Yeah, thank you.
What next are we expecting? How far do you want to take this thing that you're doing?
Animation. Animation. Writing has always been my first love. I actually have a comic on Facebook that I started with back in 2019, but never did as well. So I just want to carry that on, because I think that's the only thing I'm really passionate about. It's writing. And what we've been seeing in the skits, the conversations, that's just a very small part of Ot3lo as a whole. Yes. So what we're expecting next is definitely animation, because people need to realize, some people get a bit like, they're not sure about the whole me getting into animation thing, but what they need to consider is, I'm doing this with things that already exist. Imagine what I could do if these people are set in Lusaka, maybe he's in Kabwata or Chalala or this, like the jokes would be more, I feel like they'll hit home harder. So what to expect next is animation.
How do you change a name from Simba to Simbe? Who does that, man? Anyways, I wish we could go on with this conversation. I know you. I hear that you guys send each other my voiceovers so that
Yes.
it's another conversation for another day.
Yes.
But is there anything that you wanted to talk about regarding with your creative space when you're working?
My creative space, in what way?
Maybe in a way when you are putting out a storyline, because we follow those things. For example, is there a point where you feel like you're losing it in creating a storyline? For example, the Lion King type of arrangement that you've been making, you know, where we're expecting the next storyline to follow up. Is that like a point where you feel like you're losing the story, then you're going another direction, but still people like it?
So again, like I said earlier, the way I come up with these ideas, right? I never even expected to blow up in any way. The way I come up with these ideas is, wouldn't it be funny if, you know, maybe I just see it in my head, right? Maybe I'm watching something on YouTube, because I watch a lot of cartoons, I watch a lot of anime, I watch a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, this would be funny if a co-pilot person said it in this way, you know, with the whole Kitway thing.
Yeah.
So it's really just me being goofy online and people liking it. So when it comes to Lion King, when I feel like it's done, I'm done with it. Even though people are like, no, do more, I jump onto the next thing. So, you know, it's just a guy having fun. And
let's get shout with you the other clip that we had from him right here. Ot3lo is the name. Go check it out on TikTok, on Facebook. You understand why we had him on the show, right? On the other side, we get to have a conversation.
Arobai cemilan pe apo. Wadabwa kustoking apo ka. Atinda kustoka day and night. Pamuera ya my favorite. I love you. Kui 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 kui. Kagero kawama piamo. Kwanza chimbombo mwache. Iwe vaupuva waziwa naenda kunyumba vanyongeweka vafana kali usave kunchita kaili okay vanyonge vafana we have a short temper guy as if you're a bebe sick. Anyway, mwache simbe ane going
nanga this 15 way you've lashed me
fulok tumako mwache so utigwire ko chi big bite too vimal black label vitatu mwache na vima scaves then na change ubweze
junk. Do you know my bali exe?
Noro stiva ziva boy, no one cares about your bali man. Mzera ya tate wako mwache, mzera ya kagero kako akakeori nako, mzera ya landlord wako mwache pachipanda ponse pe munkara, mzera ya shukuru wako, mzera ya ancestors wako bonse, mzera ya family tree yanu yonse, mzera wa ex waka gero kari hapa, mzera wa ex waka ex kamene kagero kari hapa.
Iwe chijunk.
What exe?
You laka.
Laka tate simbe. Mzera wa side chick wako, mzera wa... Wait a minute. Atake simbe. Oh shit, run!
hi, Ot3lo here.